and I know what to do with it. Eileen Ford said I had the best eye for talent in the business. You know who she is, don't you?
Yes.
Okay.
How do you think you developed that eye? Were you just born with that gift, or?
Yeah, I just think I was born with that gift. I've always had an eye for the girls. But the funny part of it is, Luke, I'm not very interested in models. I like girls on the heavy side, on the plump side, that round, old-fashioned look. And but I have a real good eye for talent, for girls that can do things. And that's the way it is.
Have you ever fallen in love with any of your models?
Yeah, I think I fell in love with one, but I didn't realize it, and I never admitted it, and I still don't. But I think I did fall in love with one of them. But I don't know if she knew it or not, but nothing ever happened. We were very good friends. I'm very good friends with her family. But she was one. There was another one that was determined that I was in love with her, and I thought maybe I was. But she was impossible. She was just so aggressive and so forward. I'm glad that I broke that one off. She became a famous pianist, and that's what I told her she was really good at. I said, you're okay as a model, but you're sensational as a pianist. She lived right next door to the Reagans. And when Reagan became president, she was invited to play at the White House. She was on all the big shows. She had her own program. She was terrific. That was Linda. That's another girl.
What was her last name?
Linda Gentile. And Linda, her name was Gentile, and she changed it to Genteel. The reason she did it, she said, this business is all run by Jews. And she said, they see my name spelled Gentile, they're not going to like me. So I changed the spelling of it. I thought that was funny.
How many times have you been married?
Twice.
And how long was the second marriage?
About 3 years. I married one of them twice. Out of sympathy.
How did your work in modeling affect your social life with women outside of work?
Well, I got very, very dominant and very impatient with women in general because I could read them like a book, and I didn't want anything from them. But I knew how they promote, they're way ahead of men. I think women are 10 times smarter than men. So I just went about my life, and I'm very frank with women. I don't get involved anymore. I've had lots of romances in my 20s and a few affairs in my 30s or 40s, but it doesn't bother me anymore. When I see a girl that I know I could really go for if I was young again, that's as far as it goes. I don't do anything about it. I may tell her that. I've done that too. I said, I wish I was 30 years younger. I said, I'd be a candidate for you. I've said that a few times.
Were women you dated intimidated because you worked with models?
Yeah, they all got jealous. One girl is like my daughter. I love her very much, but I love her as a daughter, not as romance. When her mother died, I kind of stepped in and helped her, and I've got her to the point now. She's very successful. She's become an administrator of a hospital. I got her into nursing when I knew that I was getting older and something might happen, because when she got older, she became my assistant, and then Then I gave her the agency, actually, at one point. But she wanted to give it back to me after about 3 months. She said it was too difficult. Huh?
I'm sorry, go ahead. Her name is?
Her name is Meg Mitchell. Omega Mitchell.
What do you love and what do you hate about your work?
Well, what I hate about my work is, like right now, this decision I've got to make on which girl am I going to get when I get through with you for that float. I've got 3 girls in mind, and I've got a good reason to give it to each one of them. I know my favorite, and I can't get a hold of her, so it's going to go into the second girl, and she's the best one of all. She'd do more for the agency every way. The third one is very beautiful, but she's very new, and she doesn't know much about what's going on. But whichever one I pick, I'm going to feel bad. The one that I should pick is not one of my favorites. In fact, I don't care much for her, but she's real social, and she's a big-time operator at our high school. She'd do me a lot of good, so I'll probably pick her if I can get her. I don't know if I can get her. I don't know who the hell I can get. I've got to work on it when I hang up.
What type of girls become your favorites?
Girls that are understanding, girls that are sympathetic, girls that have compassion, girls that I can talk to like a Dutch uncle, or I can talk to just like a model agent. Girls that will listen and don't think they know everything. Girls like that.
And what percentage of the girls you work with are like that?
Well, if they don't become too successful, I would say that maybe 40% of them are like that. But if they hit it big time, they start believing their own publicity, and they start believing that I was just put on earth to discover them and get them going. But they think they did it all, and that's about 90% of them. Fortunately, the other 10% do remember me. I always have girls coming back that went here a long time ago, and some of them, big ones, have remembered me all the way. But most of them haven't. Most of them have just taken what they could and gone on.
Who were some of the big ones who remembered you? A girl named Linda Gray appreciated everything I did for her. She was quite a good girl. Linda Gentile was very appreciative, but she was overbearing. I had to get rid of her. She ended up working for Donald Trump, and she was in his hotel. She was it. She could do whatever she wanted. She was the number one attraction. And when by this time, she was no longer with me. She was older. And they opened a place up the street called the Mirage. And she left Trump to go up there. And Trump was really upset about it. And she was supposed to start a couple of days later. She had this manager. I have a suspicion this manager is also her boyfriend. But she went up and tried the piano out and played it for about 5-6 minutes and said, "I'm not going to play this piano. I don't like it." And I said, "Well, you've got to play it. This is a brand new piano. My boss paid $10,000 for it." She said, "I don't care if he paid $100,000. She said, "I'm not going to play it." "Well, I'll have to call my boss up and see what he says and let you know in the morning." Well, he called up his boss, and his boss said, "She either plays that piano or she doesn't work there."
So she told her that, and she said, "That's fine, I won't work for you." So